With this idea of oneness being just a concept that I had read about in a lot of yogic texts and just held as a spiritual ideal, it was something that my mind understood, but I hadn't had a feeling experience of. And how that opened up for me was, it felt like this heart of compassion effortlessly just burst. And at each person's experience, I was feeling and experiencing with them. And other people were opening up things and feeling them for me. I felt that happening throughout the whole experience. One of the things that is so incredible about Pranananda is his demonstration of loving devotion to us, and how much that fuels the devotion that I have for him, and that trust that is built, that he creates this safety for me to let go and to trust, because he's such a demonstration of how much God loves us. He is an embodiment of pure unconditional love. And when he holds me and puts his hand onto my heart, he's putting into me this knowing that I'm safe, that I am loved, that it's okay, that I can trust and let go. So those were some of the moments that I had very profoundly with him this beautiful retreat.
What is it unique about Pranananda that separates him from a different life?
He's just genuine. He's genuine. He's not. He's a cool guru. You know, that's how I describe him. And he's accessible. I can see myself in him, and he has a way of relating that just relates to everyone on every. And he doesn't create this kind of vibe of I'm up here and you're down here, kind of, you know, master student kind of feeling. He's just equal, but just his presence alone, you know, you just feel it as soon as he enters the room. And for me, it's his teaching that really just captivates me.
Is it the way that he communicates?
Oh, just incredible, yeah. Hence why I'm getting involved with Louix TV, I guess, because I see that the potential of getting him to the world stage, you know, because he has a way of teaching that needs to get out to the world. You know, I've never seen anything like it. He just nails it. Absolutely nails every question. In my opinion. I'm sure it's shared with everyone else who has been in touch with him, or has been in touch with his teachings, at least. And that's the first thing that ever captivated me, really. It was actually a tape that you gave me. The teachings was the thing that captivated me. And it might be different for everyone, but for me, it's his teachings.
One of the best parts, one of the best experiences is being around the people who are so diverse and come from so many different walks of life and from so many geographically different places in the world. That's one of the coolest things. That they're all brought together, you know, to listen to the master. So I find that a really wonderful part of the experience. It just adds a beautiful flavor to the whole thing. So I got the impression that a lot of the people in the room were healers. And I'm a physician, so I feel some sort of you know, kindred spirit there. Although in a scientific way, as opposed to the spiritual, holistic sense of the healer. So it was amazing to me that there were so many people in the room who, you know, do this for a living. I felt that it was unusual to me because I didn't think that those would be the people that would be at this type of retreat. I don't know why. I think that they're people who should kind of know it already. So, but I realized that the reason that they're there, most likely, from my humble interpretation, is to refine and improve those skills. And as a physician, I know that we're always refining, improving, and learning our skills and improving them. And so it kind of makes sense. It made sense to me that there were those people in the room also. It wasn't just people who, had lived through horrible circumstances or were dealing with tragic events that were trying to get help. I mean, these are people who were helping other people. So I thought that was just fantastic. And it reinforces to me, the type of master and that the guru is. He is the person who helps the healers heal. So I just that thought was sort of a revelation to me, and I thought it was beautiful because I think I can use that to help other people as well.
As Prananda's tendering people and giving them, as they're laying their lives down in front of him and going, wow, this is, I have this situation, and laying this down in front of him, how he unravels that so gracefully, so beautifully, lovingly, compassionately, with firmness, with all those flavors, so masterful. The insights that he was giving these people were perfect insights for me, and that's those in my life. All these revelations that were coming to me were the perfect revelations that I needed vicariously through another, and that is, I've never found anyone like that can give me insights to unravel my life for me to become more love, more freer, and more myself.
My life is going well, but the essence is missing. And I need that which I have found here. It's like a U2 song. I still haven't found what I was looking for, and for me it is like now I have found what I was looking for. It's not only a hope, it's like a knowing. It's a very strong hope that here, with this master, with Pranananda, I can be helped, I can be refined. I have the feeling. Because I went into my room and was a little with myself, and I feel that this master, Pranananda, is still with me. Whether I look at his photograph or I just feel his touch of a later encounter with him, I just feel his touch on my chest still, of both hands, and still with me. And I love it, this feeling.
Yeah, I feel a opening in my chest. I feel tingling all over my body. I feel a sense of relief and relaxation, after like a deep breath. I feel like being in a warm pool of water, just comfortable and unburdened in a way. And there are times where it takes my breath away. And it's a difficult feeling to describe, but it's a feeling of needing to get that breath in, to absorb some of what's going on all around me. So I find myself, usually breathing heavily. That's what I feel. And there's an overall feeling of wellness, of feeling good. But the physical sensations are pretty cool.
You've known Prananda for a couple of years now?
Oh, I've known Prananda for a long time. I've been on the outskirts of everything.
Yes.
For a long time. And it wasn't until the last few years that I've sort of come into the fold. Yeah. So.
Okay. And since you have, tell me your experience.
Well, it's hard to say, really is. Joyful, absolutely joyful. I feel a new joy in living.
And when you have those, you had some moments of really...
Laughter. I don't know, he just looks at me. And that's it, I'm gone. I don't know why. Well, I do, he's doing it. But there's just something inside that wells up and it comes out, and that's it. It's sheer joy. And that's all I can tell you. It is really sheer joy. And it's got to come out.
And you can't help but express it.
No. Can't help it at all.
What it feels like is when I dive into his eyes, it's like filling up a tank, and it's as if I'm being filled and filled and filled and filled, and it's almost like buzzing. I get sensations in my body, like warm sensations in my body, like flushes, and then it's like a shook up bottle of champagne or something like that. It just feels like it's just boom, and it explodes through me. And what that feels like, it feels like as if there's a fire hydrant straight underneath me, and it's just like gushing through, as if it's gushing through my chakras or my spine. And I just have an experience of I suppose expanded consciousness or bliss, or as if energy is just coursing through me, and that's like almost an uncomfortable bliss, because it's just so powerful and so blissful.
It's difficult to put into words what happens at this retreat, but I know for me it's been life-changing.
How so?
It's given me the tools and the guidance that I've needed to get back to a place in my life where, I'm heading in the right direction, so to speak. But the knowledge that comes forth is something that I need to hear, because I'm at a point in my life where I need some guidance. And everything I've heard so far makes a lot of sense to me. And it's just, it can help me. I feel it can help me bring my life to the point where I could live it at a different level than I've been living it for the past, 50 years.
I live in Melbourne, Australia.
I live in Melbourne, Australia.
I live in Yarra Junction, Australia.
I live in Kingston, Tasmania.
I live in Staten Island, New York.
I live in Zurich, Switzerland.
I live in Vancouver, BC, Canada.
I live in Staten Island, New York.
I live about 10 minutes away from the ashram in Aliso Viejo, California.
I live in Aliso Viejo, California.
I live in Vancouver, Washington.
We live in New York! New York!